Welcome to the Weekly Dose of Stars. I'm your host, Graham Breitenstein, a professional dancer and movement coach for icons like, Idina Menzel, Lady Gaga, Meghan Trainor, just to name a few, turned professional astrologer, certified oracle card reader, and founder of Drunk Astrology. Each week on this podcast, I'm breaking down the astrological transits that need to be on your radar so you know exactly what energy to tap into and what opportunities to take advantage of in order to achieve your biggest goals, your juiciest manifestations, all while consciously co-creating your life with Team Uni. That's my affectionate pet name for the universe. So get ready. You're about to align your actions, dreams, and biggest manifestations with this week's Dose of Stars. What's going on, astro lovers? We are here talking about the week of March 23rd through the 29th, 2026. You heard it here first. Maybe not first, but you know what? You're hearing it here. It's the last week of March. Can you even believe it? Those of you that have your 2026 Daily Dose of Stars planner, your Q1 section, your goals, you might want to revisit those. Did you write anything down? Did you check anything off? Are there little sneaky things lingering in those goals that need to be addressed this week and the first few days of next week so that you go into Q2 fresh and understanding where you are versus where you want to be? That is one of the most magical parts. Well, there's a lot of magical parts of the planner, but check in with how you started 2026 and how you are now ending or approaching the ending of the first quarter. My bet is that you are a different person in some way, shape, or form. That in some way, especially in February, March, that eclipses plus Mercury retrograde plus Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries have rocked your world in some way, shape, or form. And if you, dear listener, are one of those people that goes, well, nothing really happened over here, I have a couple things to say to you. That sounded so shady. But I do. I have a couple of things to say to you. One, we have a parenthesis around the month of April for any lingering eclipse-like events/effects. Two, how satisfied on a scale of 0 to really effing satisfied, 10, let's just say 0 to 10. How satisfied are you with that notion of like, well, everything's just kind of the same? Are you satisfied? Is that the life experience you want? And if you're genuinely having a tremendous human experience and you love the ever-loving shit out of your life, then baby, keep doing what you're doing and stick to the plan. Hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to it. Give yourself some infrastructure to support that vibe. But if you've been rocked like your boy has on this side of the phone, well, this is one of those weeks where you get a cosmic hall pass to feel the things you need to feel, to structure the things that need to be structured, to heal things that are ready to heal. If you've kind of been like working through some ish that's been like an ongoing long-term thing, especially when it comes to relationship, then this week has some beautiful, beautiful opportunities for you. We've got a few highlights this week, and Saturn, the astro zaddy of them all, is really the headliner.
Now, I've got a beef with a lot of astrologers and the industry of astrology because, in general, everybody's giving Saturn a bad freaking rep. Is he an easy planet? By no means is he easy. Is he rewarding, though? And the answer is yes. Saturn gives big rewards, but there is a cost of entry, as there is with every single one of our planets. But Saturn this is why I call him the Astro Zaddy. He's Astro Daddy up there, okay? He's like classic patriarchal fatherly figure. Shout out father figure. Grandfather energy, right? Tale as old as time. That classic archetype of like the older fatherly figure, patriarchal figure who wants nothing but the best for you, but is willing to let you fall in order to learn a major lesson. And so say, and this I'm pulling from an old client story like years ago. I had my own kind of reputation. I want to say back in like 2023, 2022 of rectifying and undoing what some really bad astrologers did to a number of clients that I saw back then, right? And a lot of what I was having to undo were these belief systems about Saturn and where they were in these clients' natal charts. Because some old garb astrologer had said, oh, well, you've got Saturn in your 7th house, so you'll never get married. And all this client wanted to do was get married. And so we had a big conversation about what it means and what has to be considered when marriage is the goal, but you've got Astro Daddy in the house of relationships and partnerships. And it's important to understand that Saturn, as that cosmic father figure, needs to see certain things to know and to like basically for you to prove that you have learned your lesson, right? So there's that, when you learn how to ride a bike, right? There's a point at which your dad has to let go. He has to let go of the bike and just accept that you are more than likely gonna fall and bust your kneecaps or, run into the damn light post. Hello, that was me. I literally ran into the light post when I was learning how to ride a bike. There's that point at which the only way, and the dad figure, the cosmic dad, Astro Zaddy, knows that the only way you're really gonna learn your lesson is if he lets go. And so maybe with Saturn in the 7th house, the opportunity is to stumble and to, try again. But one of my main points in one of these sessions was Saturn's not going to respond to desperation, or Saturn's not going to respond very kindly to the goal is marriage. I don't care who it is. Red flag on the play, red alert, not gonna fly, right? That is destined to be a marriage that falls, right? And where Saturn in the 7th house can reveal itself, right? To be like, you didn't do any background checks. You didn't secure like anything. You didn't make sure they're viable, that they're even worthy of your time, energy, affection, and love and body. Hold on a second. Saturn's going to step in and teach your ass a lesson, right? But as the planet of time, Saturn in the 7th house, are you kidding? If you are willing to take your time to really learn about yourself, really learn about potential partner, and really, really get down to like I'm comfortable waiting and asking the right questions and observing in the right situations to make sure that this person is an ideal match. Oh, Astro Daddy is going to reward you with that pat on the back. Like, you know what? You've done it. You did exactly what I needed you to learn. Go enjoy, go thrive, go prosper. Right? So I say all of that to say, I bring that up this week because this very notion of committing to the time it takes to build something, the time it takes and the commitment it takes to fight for what you believe in, that whole notion is up this week. And that's because the sun has a conjunction to Saturn on Wednesday, March 25th. Now, here's the deal. Some astrologers call this the day of challenges. And I got to say, I'm anti. I can't stand by any kind of prescription when there's so much other opportunity wrapped into this Sun Saturn conjunction. This is an annual aspect, so it really sets the tone for the next year. And it's a biggie because Saturn just recently, in the last couple of months, entered the sign of Aries. Now, Aries is the sign of war. So in the mundane, aka in the world at large, we're gonna want to pay attention to what turn of events when it comes to the war, right, in Iran. So we're going to have to be conscientious of that and know that we're probably going to have some sort of turning point. But along with being the sign of war, this is also the sign of strategy. So my question to you is, and the question that I need you to ponder this week and to not just sit in ponder, but to actually answer the question, what am I willing to fight for? What beliefs am I willing to fight for? But first and foremost, the most important thing I want you to take with you this week is you. You are worth fighting for. So your dreams matter and your dreams deserve for you to fight. And you becoming the leader of your life this week, that equals big Astro Daddy rewards. So if you've been kind of just resting on your laurels or just kind of saying like, well, I'm married and, I just kind of, I manage the house or I, my husband he's traveling all the time. So I just have to manage everything on my own. But so like, my own stuff doesn't really get done. Then I'm going to need you to wake up a little bit this week. I'm going to need you to snap to it because you've got dreams that need to be fought for. You've got ownership and autonomy and authority over your life. And all of that needs commitment this week. Okay? Now, are you expected to do this alone? By all freaking means, no. And one of the most important things that I love to note about Saturn is that he is the he's the planet of support. So you commit to get support wherever you need in order to get there, in order to fully step into ownership of your life and leading your life, becoming the captain of your life's ship. Commit to calling in the support. Commit to actually aligning yourself with mentorship, with coaching, with therapy, with counseling, with financial advising, whatever it is. Commit to the support. You're not meant to rock this alone. One of the biggest lessons for Saturn is like, hey, exactly where I'm fall in your chart, in your natal chart, and in your transiting chart. Hey, you don't. The first experience might be challenging. It might feel limiting. It might feel restricting. But the lesson is like, then don't do it alone. Call somebody in. And then Saturn rewards you, right? I cannot iterate enough that Saturn is not a bad planet, and it frustrates the shite out of me when I see just trash astrology being tossed around. So just know that this is a highly rewarding planet when the cost of entry or when the lessons have been learned, embraced, and if you're ahead of the curve, oh my God, the way Saturn just will be like, oh, well, okay, I guess I could let go, and there was always the chance that they wouldn't fall. And it's just like a nice little sideline standing ovation. Okay? So this week, I want you, in whatever situation or whatever circumstance you're in life this week, I want you to commit to support. And first and foremost, and most importantly, I want you to commit to you and your dreams and you being the leader of your own life. And if that is a sticky ask, then support is where you go next, right? Align yourself with the right support, and big rewards are on the other side. Now, continuing with the Saturn theme this week, we also have a very rare connection in the sky this weekend on March 28th. Saturn is going to exactly move into that was very weird. Saturn will be in an exact sextile to Pluto, the planet of transformation, the planet of your soul. So here's what I want to tell you. One, sextile is exciting, but again, Saturn is slow. It's timing, it's rhythmic, it's karmic. So this is just an added disclaimer to everything we've already talked about today. Growth is slow and steady, and transformation at a cellular level takes time. But this week with that sextile, and we're going to be in this sextile for a while because Saturn and Pluto are slow AF. So they're going to hold on to this energy. But this week, momentum picks up. So maybe it's been slow, maybe not so steady because you don't have support. And so then this week, the Sun-Saturn conjunction midweek really encourages you to like, hey, wherever you feel like you need it, align yourself with support. And then this weekend, sextile to Pluto, you already start to feel on that cellular level, things starting to change, things starting to shift, and they do. Okay, but I need you to know if you have a week that you define as challenging or restricting, limiting, or just hard, then I need you to know Saturn is trying to wake your ass up to get you to hold yourself accountable, responsible, to hold others responsible and accountable, to understand that everyone is coming out of the intense shit of the eclipses, February and March. We're still in the after effect, right? We still include April as kind of a parentheses, right? January and April are like the edge of eclipses in parentheses. February and March, most potent period of intensity. We're just coming out of Mercury retrograde, right? We're in chapter 3 now of Mercury's retrograde story until April 9th. So now you're going to be integrating with clarity, right? So now the fog is beginning to dissipate. Things are becoming clear. Your path forward is becoming a little bit more clear. And now it's full steam ahead. So just know that when you are transforming and changing at a cellular level, that it takes time, Saturn. It takes repetition, Saturn. And it takes time and repetition over long periods of time to form new habits in alignment with a new you, with a new belief system, with a new mindset. So if you're only, let's just do this for an example. If you're only like saying affirmations anytime you're just like down and out, on the floor crying or, just really upset, and you're not doing it the second a limiting belief pops into your head, if you're not interrupting that pattern every single time, then it is going to take you forever and ever to form a new thought. It takes interruption consistently done over time in order to form that new habit. The Saturn-Pluto sextile this weekend is that reminder. Last, but certainly not least this week, we have the Cancer quarter moon. So for my moon phase manifestors out there, baby, the Cancer quarter moon has lots and lots of manifesting magic that we will be talking about in our Telegram channel. Now, Cancer quarter moon is coming as the midpoint between last week's Pisces new moon and next week's full moon, which, the Libra full moon. So as this midpoint, and it's water, so we had the water new moon last week, we have a water quarter moon this week. Layman's terms, we've got some shit to feel through. We've got some shit to work through. We've got some shit to process big time. And this also comes with that Pisces energy, which is endings and beginnings being the same thing. Okay, like they're all like one symbiotic organism, right? So things begin as they're ending and things end as they're beginning. And did I say it the right way? You get what I'm saying. Beginnings and endings happen simultaneously because that's what Pisces does, right? And so that quarter moon this week on Wednesday, along with the Sun-Saturn conjunction, is the reminder to feel through things. Especially, it matters massively to your manifestation practice. If you are a conscious manifester, if you're not, I highly encourage you looking into Moon Phase Manifester. We are getting a lot of shit done in that program. Lots of transformation happening just by syncing you up to the major moon phases, new, quarter, and full moons. And the last thing I want to say before we get into Monday's astrology is anybody else feeling the creative surge from the Pisces new moon last week? Because I have had like a creative renaissance. I have completely rearranged, reimagined, redesigned the front half of my apartment. And oh my God, how satisfying it is. Now, it does also line up with what I was manifesting in my Manifest Big Journal. Hopefully, all of you listening have your Manifest Big Journal. It's never too late to get it, no matter what point in the year you are. So if you don't have a Manifest Big Journal, start there. Go right to the Pisces new moon section and get to answering those prompts, get to setting your wishes in motion, because we're still in a really good window of time for the universe to pick up momentum with those wishes. But oh my God, this apartment looks completely different. Now I have to I can't even tell you. I've literally reimagined the entire front half. So like now that means I've got to like reimagine the kitchen area. The bedroom needs to be reimagined. So it's exciting though. Like, oh my God. So I'm just so curious. Is anybody else feeling that like creative urge? Because whoa, it has blown me open like I did not expect. So I would love to hear. So just come to my DMs and tell me if you are feeling the same thing. Because whoa. It's big over here. Okay, so let's talk about Monday, March 23rd, shall we? The moon is void until 1:19 a.m. Pacific. So moon in Taurus is void until 1:19 a.m. But at 1:19 a.m., the moon enters Gemini. So we really start this week off chatty Cathy's. Communication is the way to go. So this is As long as you're willing to communicate, as long as you're willing to share ideas, exchange ideas, brainstorm, map things out together in connection with someone else, then the Gemini moon's going to be great to start the week. Shadow side of a Gemini moon, though, you are locked in your head, you are overthinking everything, and that's not the vibe, right? So the idea is to either get those thoughts out on paper or you put them in, like, you use your voice. Okay, so use your voice for the first couple of days this week with the moon in Gemini. Connect to your tribe, connect to your besties, your family, found family. That's really the way to go. There are sextiles to Neptune and the sun and to Saturn, back to back to back. This is like a domino effect. 4:26 a.m. to Neptune, 6:09 a.m. to the sun, 8:48 a.m. to Saturn. So exciting energy. Shared, right? Shared, excitable energy. Things move forward when you communicate. And wow, does this like really kind of like burn through the fog? This air-fire combo here, it's burning through the fog. So if you've been kind of like foggy and a little like indecisive and kind of just convincing yourself that like you just can't like see through, well, today using your voice will help ease all of that mist. Right? So whether you're journaling, whether you're talking, picking up the phone, meeting up with people over coffee, like whatever it is, huge opportunity here to like get out of your head and into your body. Then there's a gorgeous trine to Pluto at 9:44 a.m. Pacific. Now that's a good heart connecting conversation, a deep like ease and flow and a deep conversation. Beautiful. And then there's a square to Mercury at 4:13 p.m. So that's a, potentially stressful conversation. Stressful, tense, but it's a call to action, right? So you have to kind of figure things out. And the way to figure them out is only by talking about them, right? So, but talking with substance, not like gaslighting, not like doing anything that's like untoward, okay? Your bad bitch affirmation for Monday, March 23rd. Oh, you are really sliding here. You are a motherfucking conqueror. Life is gonna get hard sometimes, so get your fucking shit together and stand the fuck up. You are a fucking volcano, not an anthill. Anthills get walked on and crushed. Volcanoes burn shit to the ground and conquer cities. Nobody fucks with volcanoes. Well, aside from the war graphics, I like the idea of each of us being a volcano. Because no, we will not be trampled on. That is for motherfucking sure. All right, that's it for me. Have a phenomenal week ahead. Daily Dosers, I will see you tomorrow, of course. And last but not least, the Raise Your Vibe Retreat in the Outer Banks, September 30th through October 4th this year. Baby, I've been in your inbox. I've been talking to some people on the Instagrams. I've only got 2 rooms left for single or double occupancy at the time that I'm recording this, and then 1 communal room. Okay, so just to like let it be heard here, that's what's going on. The price goes up at the end of April. So if you've even been slightly considering this year's retreat, I highly encourage you, pop into my DMs and let's talk about the situation best for you, because we don't have too many spots left. All right, so that's it officially for me. Happy Monday. Have a great week. I will see you next time. Bye.
Astro lover, did you love this week's astro forecast? Well, just wait until you're inside the daily dose of stars. Right now, you're waking up and feeling pulled in a million directions. You're buzzing with anxiety about your new meeting. You're doom scrolling for 30 minutes before you even leave the bed. You're overwhelmed by news headlines, decisions about deadlines at work, and constantly distracted, which, of course, leaves you feeling off, unmotivated, and stuck in a loop of doing a million things but getting nowhere. My friend, this is because you haven't checked the daily energetic weather report. Riddle me this. Would you ever take a trip to Europe Or go camping without checking the actual weather? Hell no. So why are you going through life without checking the energy for the day ahead? The Daily Dose of Stars gives you bite-sized astrological guidance every single morning, so you know exactly what energy you're working with, exactly what to avoid, and what moves to make in order to activate the opportunities that are available for you to seize. So no more guessing. No more chaos. No more feeling pulled in a million directions and saying, what the hell is in the air right now? You'll know exactly what's in the air, and you'll also know exactly what the actual F to do with it every friggin' day. So when you're ready to start co-creating your best life with the universal energy in real time, hop inside the Daily Dose of Stars. The link to subscribe is in the show notes below. Simply scroll down and tap the link. I'll see you there.